What is up, guys? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince, and trying to be very quiet because I actually got someone over there sleeping. So I'm trying to be as calm as possible. But this is rebooking. Yes, one of my more popular series. Me actually rebooking shows, particularly WrestleMania, and this has actually been one of the more requested WrestleMania rebookings ever. This and WrestleMania 15. WrestleMania 15 is a little bit harder to do just because, believe it or not, 1999 was the year I was born. So, I mean, I was just a baby, so obviously I didn't know that much about wrestling. I know what happened. It's just I don't know how to move the card around. I mean, granted, I rebooked WrestleMania 9 and 11. Check those videos out if you haven't. So I definitely know my knowledge. It's a little bit harder because I wasn't as attached to so-called characters, even though I know my knowledge. I don't know. It was just a really hard card to rebook, but definitely I want to rebook WrestleMania 22 for the love of God. I swear to God, this is probably gonna happen anyways. But in the comment section, even though I just said that I'm not going to rebook WrestleMania 15, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to ask me that. So just know that I'm not going to rebook WrestleMania 15. Maybe not this year. Maybe some other year. Maybe next year. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, I'm going to rebook WrestleMania 22. WrestleMania 22 is one that's a little bit hard because I definitely enjoyed WrestleMania 22. There was a lot of stuff to enjoy about this show, but there was a lot of stuff to really dislike about the show. So it was definitely one of the harder cards to rebook. I'm currently holding the current card that they had. They had John Cena versus Triple H, Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, and Randy Orton, Shawn and Vince, the Playboy Pillow Fight, Taker, Mark Henry. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. I mean, I knew what they were doing. But yeah, Trish and Mickie, probably the only match there with a good feud. Booker T and Sharmell versus the Boogeyman. I felt bad for Booker T at this time. Foley and Edge, which is probably the only good thing about the entire show. We're not saying that everything else sucked. It's just that everything else was either okay to, Chris Benoit and JBL. Very underrated match. A lot of people don't talk about that match, but it was definitely really good. Money in the Bank, one of the weaker ones just because it was too short. And Big Show and Kane versus Carlito and Chris Masters. It was alright. So, yeah, everything was just okay. The only thing that stood out was Edge and Mick Foley. And really, this was when Edge was red hot. And then they took the belt off of him. Instead of keeping it on him, they dropped the ball with Edge right away. They kind of gave up on him before he even got started. But eventually, he picked up. And he did got a chance to main event WrestleMania 24. Which, in my personal opinion, that was the wrong main event. I would have given it to Shawn and Flair that year. Hell, Randy Orton, John Cena, and Triple H made more sense to be the main event of WrestleMania 24 than Edge and Undertaker. But that's for another video. I want to check out... so basically, I'm going to rebook to you. And what I try to do with this card, I try to make a lot of changes to the card. And make sure everything has enough time to... get developed and everything. So you'll be shocked because I did a lot of stuff, and I also added stuff to help out future WrestleManias. So that's a thing, and you'll see what I mean when I read one particular match in this card. So I'll start off the show pretty much how it originally started with Kane and Big Show versus Carlito and Chris Masters. It was a fine little match to begin the show, and I would have Kane and Big Show win just because they eventually lose it to the Spirit Squad, which I could care less about. At this point, I really didn't care that much about the tag team division. Michaels and Triple H reformed DX, so maybe they could take the belts off of those guys or something, but overall, I really didn't care. It was a fine little match. It was a solid way to start off the card, so I'll keep that the same. Money in the Bank. I'd have the same result, same amount of people, just different competitors. Some are the same, some are different. So my brand new Money in the Bank would be the Intercontinental Champion, Shelton Benjamin, the United States Champion, Chris Benoit, Matt Hardy, JBL, Ric Flair, and the winner, Rob Van Dam. I think that could be a solid little match. Solid Money in the Bank ladder match. They had a bunch of filler guys like Finlay and Bobby Lashley in the original one. And I'm not saying that those guys sucked. It's just that I felt like those guys weren't ready. And they weren't ladder material. This, with the time that they originally gave the other card, this could give it plenty of time to develop and be much, much better than what it was. I think this could be a much better card. I really believe this card, it looks a billion times better. This Money in the Bank looks a little bit better. And I would also play off this story of on SmackDown, JBL's trying his hardest to get into the WrestleMania card since the following year he walked in as WWE champion and he wants to be back on top. So it would make sense for him to try to be in this match. And also I will play off this story that he would beat anybody to try again. He failed to beat Benoit and Hardy and stuff like that. He tried everything to be on WrestleMania and eventually he made it into the Money in the Bank ladder match. Hell, if anything, I would have Finlay being a current opponent in the Money in the Bank ladder match and then have JBL beat the crap out of him on a SmackDown, and then they have to add a 6-member in the Money in the Bank match. Then they have a battle royal where JBL magically wins or something, something to get people talking. So I think that would be the best way to do it. Then we have this is the match I was talking about. Shawn Michaels versus Booker T. Now you're probably wondering, why the hell would I put Shawn Michaels versus Booker T? What I would do to make it a much more exciting WrestleMania, I would actually have the King of the Ring tournament enter here. Basically, I would have 4 guys on Raw and 4 guys on SmackDown, or 6 people, depending on how many people you want to add on this tournament. Basically, Booker T wins some, and Shawn Michaels wins some. And this is going to be the proper way to book Booker T as a top main event player. And this would eventually lead to, of course, King Booker. Now, Diesel 101, I don't know how you feel about King Booker, the character. I personally didn't like the accent. It was fucking annoying. But it definitely got Booker T somewhat over, so I'm pretty sure we can both agree that it was great. And plus, it's Shawn Michaels and Booker T. That is probably one of the bigger dream matches that no one talks about. And we almost got it at I believe we were going to get it at the Battle of the Billionaires. We eventually didn't get it, which is kind of a good thing because I didn't want Michaels to represent Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form. That would be really, really stupid. So Shawn Michaels and Booker T in a King of the Ring finals, and I would have Booker T get over so he could be developed as a top level guy and be the King of the Ring, which is what happened in real life in 2006. And I know it's kind of burying Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels has been the top guy for centuries, so this could be a perfect way to make Shawn Michaels undercard guy. And I'm kind of shocked, but Shawn Michaels, believe it or not, even though he's Mr. WrestleMania, he doesn't have that many victories at WrestleMania. He's had classics, and I'm pretty sure Booker T and Shawn Michaels could be a classic if they do it at this point. And plus, this could be a way to have Booker T cheat to beat Shawn Michaels and become the King of the Ring. And it could be a perfect way to develop Booker T as one of the next top guys, beating the biggest name in WrestleMania history. Next up, Trish Stratus and Mickie James. I would basically keep everything the same except the botched finish. I would actually find a way to make that not be botchy. And plus, the match could have gone a little bit longer and still be entertaining. So I would keep the same match, same result. I think that everything about that was great as it was. Just the fucked up finish. Next up, Undertaker versus, guess, I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yes, Kurt Angle. Undertaker and Kurt Angle had to happen at WrestleMania. I know that the reason why they didn't do it is because they actually wanted Kurt Angle. Undertaker wanted Kurt Angle to break the streak, but I'm pretty sure they could work something out where they're like, nope, sorry Taker, but you have to go over. Please understand. I'm pretty sure they would work something out. And the bad news is that, of course, this would lead to Kurt Angle leaving to TNA. But this could be, honestly, a perfect farewell. Because who knows, maybe if Kurt Angle was taken more serious, he probably would have stayed even longer. And granted, I do enjoy Kurt Angle in TNA, but come on. He was gonna go to the Indies regardless by the end of this year or 2007. He was gonna leave no matter what, but that's just my personal take on that. But Kurt Angle and Undertaker should have happened at WrestleMania. And what I would do is play off Kurt Angle doing his best to reverse the tombstone, because he knows once he hits the tombstone, he loses. At the time, kicking out of a tombstone wasn't a thing that always happened, so I would have the story be Kurt Angle trying not to get hit with the tombstone. And people are probably wondering, how would this match come to play? Basically, what I would do is make a fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. It will be Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, and somebody else. Let's see, who could I put instead of that guy? Either JBL or Chris Benoit. I would put one of those two. And basically Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, and Undertaker get in each other's ways, or Undertaker was about to be world champion, but Kurt Angle screwed him over, and that's why the match happened. And basically, it's just a story from there on. And speaking of Randy Orton would win the World Heavyweight Champion at that set fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble for the vacant World Championship instead of just some random Battle Royal. And the winner of the Royal Rumble would be Rey Mysterio. Keep the feud exactly the same. I know some people said it was super controversial of them talking about Eddie Guerrero, but it's kind of what made it work. And it would also mean it would be a great moment for Rey Mysterio to get his big, massive moment, because it was definitely one of my favorite moments. The only thing I wished out of this is that Rey Mysterio actually had a good title run. Unfortunately, he didn't. I would book it exactly like What Culture booked Rey Mysterio's title run. I would book it exactly the same. That was the perfect way to do it. So yeah, I would have Rey Mysterio beat Randy Orton, and I would make this match long enough so we get good moments out of it. Then we have Torrie Wilson and Candice Michelle in a Playboy pillow fight. I keep the women's stuff the same, and there's that. Also, you might be wondering, where is Mick Foley in any of this list? Pretty simple. I would make him the guest. I would make him the host of WrestleMania 22. That way we could have backstage segments with the Boogeyman. We could bring Dude Love, Mankind, and Cactus Jack in one segment. We could do crazy, cool, and entertaining stuff with Mick Foley backstage or in the ring. So that would be great to have moments with Mick Foley instead of him putting over Edge, which was great. It's just that we could have done much more with Mick Foley in that sense. But yeah, that was basically what I would have done with Mick Foley. Just make him the host of WrestleMania 22. It will be so entertaining, and it will keep the show with a good flow. And last but not least, the main event, I will have the WWE Champion Edge put his belt on the line against John Cena and Triple H. How would this match come about? So let's see. Edge cashes in. He has his live sex celebration. Fucks up Ric Flair at that TLC match. And then at the Royal Rumble, I'll have John Cena versus Edge, with Edge winning after getting screwed over. Basically Edge cheats to beat John Cena. Obviously he doesn't beat him clean because it's John Cena, LOL. And then they're ready to move on. Vince and Shane McMahon, at this point, I would make them like both working on Monday Night Raw, trying to make the show go well. And here what I would do is make Shane McMahon that invested in Triple H. I would keep Triple H a heel because that's what made Triple H work at this time. After he lost the World Championship at freaking WrestleMania 21, he's been kind of like the heel, and Shane McMahon has potential in him, but Vince still doesn't like him because he's married to Stephanie, and he hasn't been doing so good. He couldn't even beat Ric Flair for the IC belt. So I would have that story, and then eventually I would have on a Monday Night Raw, I would have John Cena versus Triple H. Winner faces Edge at WrestleMania, since Rey Mysterio is facing Randy Orton. And then Edge beats the crap out of both of them. And then, Vince and Shane don't make a decision. So then I would have Mick Foley, the host, say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something big. We're going to have a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Edge, John Cena, Triple H. And then I would have, what's his face? Edge loses shit against Mick Foley. He also beats the crap out of him. And we could actually have the hardcore match on Monday Night Raw. It could be a big moment for Monday Night Raw to have the exact same WrestleMania 22 match that we got in real life on a Monday Night Raw, making Edge a proper world champion and a badass. And then basically John Cena and Triple H and Edge have this triple threat match. They have all three of them come in cool ass entrances with Triple H coming with the King of Kings, John Cena with the Chicago Badasses, then Edge has like this massive explosive rock and roll entrance. We built this up like a mega main event with newcomers, with some of the old comers. And who would I have go over this match? John Cena. Why? Because realistically, it makes sense for John Cena to go over. This would pretty much be the same triple threat match that we got on Backlash. Only now it's at WrestleMania. And why would I have John Cena win? Simple. Because this could lead to RVD's cash-in, and then the Edge feud continues from there on. That way we don't have to completely tweak 2006, even though it was a bad year. This could be a way to start it. And then Triple H eventually slowly starts turning into a babyface that reforms with DX. Edge and Cena continue their feud with RVD involved. Basically everything goes back to normal. So I will have John Cena walk out as with a second WWE Championship at WrestleMania 22. He did it 2 years in a row. And then basically that would be the story. That would be my card. You could look down in the link down description. In the description, I'm pretty sure I have the whole card. I just kind of explained what every card was, every match was. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to do this one. I try to make the card as different as possible. Some stuff looked the same, but for the most part, I think this is a far more superior show without a bunch of bullshit in between. There was like a lot of filler stuff at this particular WrestleMania. And this could be a great send-off to Eddie Guerrero. I'm pretty sure he would want a kick-ass show like this, especially with Rey Mysterio going over as the world champion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was definitely a lot of fun. I miss doing this, so I hope we'll see more of it. Anyway, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And until then, I'm out. Take care.